You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Now, do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something. Now we say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
Yep, you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you.
You know, I love the quote by Bruce Lee. It's one of my favorite quotes. He says, I was never worried about my opponents who practice 1,000 moves. I was worried about my opponents who practice one move 1,000 times. We have a dog in us, but we need to bring that dog out. We need to feed it. You are the only problem, the only solution. When we make a decision, mountains move.
The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. What you're seeking is on the other side of fear.
If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your step. Set it so big it jazzes you, it really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite.
Hi, welcome guys. Welcome to the challenge, the art of goal achievement. I am so thrilled to have you all here. So welcome. I would love this live to be really interactive. I would love these 5 days to be so interactive so you can get the most out of it. And to do that, you would have to subscribe to our channel. So make sure if you want to interact with us in the chat, which I highly recommend, I would love you to just subscribe so you can start chatting with us in the chat, and let us know where you're joining us from today. Where in the UK or in the world are you joining us from today? I would love to know that. So good to see you guys here. So thrilled. So make sure you've subscribed to the channel. You are listening to us. You are chatting with us. Would love that. And I'm just going to explain a little bit what's going to happen through these 5 days with us. What can you expect? What not to expect? And what is it how have we really structured these 5 days for you? So before I just start this, I really want to take a second here and express my gratitude to you and for being here, for showing up for yourself. Because you've showed up, you've already kind of set a very loud message to the universe that I am ready. I'm really ready for this transformation. And so what can you expect in these 5 days with me? And so first of all, I want you to know that this is not just information. This challenge is not just going to be about, information. It's going to be an experience. It's going to be an experience with me. It's going to be an experience of a journey with me. How do you really create results? How is it that we can utilize whatever we have been blessed with to create what we really want in our life? And that's what really matters. So show up for yourself, show up for your goals, show up for everything that you truly, truly desire. One thing I want to say that you do not get results by hoping. You get results by understanding how things work. And today is all about that. How do we really work? How does everything in this universe work so we can really create the results that we want? So hi guys, if you are typing in the chat, hello, welcome. I am so happy to have you all here. And you guys must have received a workbook as well. It was in the email, it was also in a WhatsApp group. And if you have not joined a WhatsApp group, make sure you join there, because we will send you notifications just about when the calls are going to start and any other information that will be very relevant to the next 5 days with us. I also have a surprise with you all, for you guys. And the surprise is that I will also be doing 2 bonus days with you all. So we will start today, Monday at 8 p.m., which we have started. And yes, your 5 days will go on to Friday. But I also have 2 bonus days for you, which are one of my favorites, because they're like this cherry on the cake. That everything, like what we will share during these 5 days, first of all, it's not just random stuff. I want you to understand it's like a puzzle. It's really like a jigsaw puzzle. That today, when you're showing up, you're seeing where the map, really starts. Where does it really begin? And if you do not know where it begins, might not know how it's going to fit it all in. And that's what these 5 days will be as well. They'll be like a puzzle. And by the end of 5 days, you would really see how each and every piece really makes sense as well. And so what we're going to do is, as I said, they're not random sessions. They are piece of the puzzle. And as you start applying these, they will be, you'll be able to make all the sense of this. So make sure you do have your workbook, because you would need your workbook. So you can print it, you can use it digitally, doesn't matter. And I'll tell you, why do you need a workbook? The reason that you really need a workbook is because, as I said, this is not just about information. I'm going to show you how to apply this information, because I'm sure you know this, right? If you get gym clothes, you're not going to get fit just buying gym clothes. You really have to go to the gym as well, right? You're not going to just make food by watching a video. The food is not going to go in your stomach. You will have to really make that food as well. So it's exactly like this. I will give you information, I will give you some knowledge, but the pudding is actually in doing the work. So I really encourage you all to get the workbook, whether it's in a digital form, whether it's in a printed form, doesn't matter, but I would love that for you guys. So as I said, take this week as a journey of really going through with me and understanding how everything really works. And the thing is, why am I giving so much importance to the workbook? The reason I'm giving so much importance to the workbook is because you have enough knowledge already. It's in the application. If you really ask me, we are like this walking, talking library. We know so much. How many of you watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, read books, but your results are not what you want them to? And the reason is because there is, a gap between you knowing and doing gap, which we will look at tomorrow. So, every day, as I said, is really planned. But I want you all really to get the workbook so you can really start working. So I do not want you just to give you more knowledge, more information, because you're already a walking, talking library, like I said, like myself, how I used to be as well. So my role is going to be here to guide you. That's my intention, to really, really guide you, to really help you understand how everything is created, but also how can you really apply in simplest form every day to create the results that you want. Because that was the promise I gave myself when I started this work, because I had years of information, like loads and loads of information. I used to probably, like yourself, like anyone else, spend hours and hours on YouTube, hours and hours on podcasts, reading books, but my results were not what I wanted. So when I started getting results in my life, and my life started really transforming, that was the first promise I made to myself, that first of all, I'm not going to hold anything to myself, because this information is not mine. This is something that is, universally created. So, I have like no stamp on this information, and I will never hold it. And I'll also teach you how to apply this, because I remember going on these webinars, but nothing was shifting. Why? Because again, I was gaining more knowledge. And there was a point in my life where I was like so fed up with the knowledge that I was like, no, I do not want any of this. So that's my whole intention, to really help you apply this as well. So I want you all to show up every day, because that is going to be your role. Your role is going to be to show up every day, so you can do the homework, post it in a WhatsApp group, which you will get more details in our WhatsApp group as well. Really post the homework, because that's where we would really see that you're doing the work. We'll be able to help you, guide you, because this whole week is going to be like you will apply the information, you will do the work, and we are here to support you. Really here to support you, to tell you this is right, this is not right, or maybe make these tweaks. And that's what this is all is being created for you. So please make the most of it, because accountability is the insurance policy. If I hold you accountable, if my team holds you accountable, we know that we will really truly help you as well. We also have another session after this, which I will come back to later, which will be on Zoom, to help you actually dig more deeper into your goals and really help you gain more clarity on how to really get create the right goal for yourself. So I will show up every day and do my part. I want you to do your part as well. So who's ready? Type in the chat if you are ready to kick this day off, kick this hour off, and really get to the first step of our R2 of goal achievement. Type yes if you are ready for this. I am really ready. I know this. I am so ready for this too, seriously. So type in the chat and let me know. Again, I know you would need to subscribe, so do subscribe, because I really want this very interactive every single day. So understand, as I said, my intention for you is to transform, to change, and that will happen through application. And whatever I will share this week with you, there will be certain things that will make you uncomfortable at times. And the reason is because old habits do not like being questioned, right? We do not like our old paradigms, old habits being questioned. So there might be a little bit of, not sure. I want you to just have an open mind and be like, okay, you know what? Let me go through this and see what it is for. So just show up every day. So one thing I want to talk about is what Dr. Maxwell Maltz says in Psycho-Cybernetics, that every human being on this planet has a built-in success mechanism. And we have this success mechanism which is designed to move us towards our goal. And everyone has the same. Everyone, literally every human being has that. But where the problem appears is they have jammed the system. And the reason they've jammed the system is because they do not know how to operate with this system. And my intention for today, day one is, and on the other days, is actually for you to get rid of the jam from this mechanism and really go into that mechanism and not just create the goal, but actually see, how am I going to get that as well? How am I going to get there? How do I gain more clarity towards my goal? Because goal is important. Because if you do not have the clarity of goal, that's why you're jammed. That's one of the reasons why people's success mechanism is jammed, because they do not know where they're going in life. They do not know what type of goal to set. And that's where the problem comes in. Because majority of the time, ask yourself, do you have a goal? Type in the chat and let me know yes or no. Do you have a goal in life? Do you know where you're going in life? Or you are just living your life on default? Let me know in the chat. So, because it's so important to have a goal, that is important, but also to have the right type of goal. So by the end of this call today, you would have clarity on what type of goal to really have in life. So like I said, most people's GPS is jammed. I like calling it the GPS because it's that you will see again throughout the week. Why is it called a GPS? And today we're focusing on the first part, which is goals. Because if you do not know where you're going, you're lost in life. Like, it's like sitting in a car in your driveway. You go out for a ride, you go for a spin, you come back, you probably had some fun on the journey, but maybe just wasted your time and energy and fuel, everything, but you just do not know where you're going. You're going your life like this. Majority of the people in world are living their life on a default, right? And that is because we do not know anything else. So that's why let's get to the first part of the GPS, which is to get the right goal in life. Because if it is jammed right now, there is nothing that you do. The reason is it's jammed because you do not have a clear destination. Where are you going? Or you have too many signals. Maybe you're working on too many things at the same time. So that's why it is so important to have that clarity on goal. Like, where am I really going in life? What do I really want? So the foundation is actually to have the right goal. And that's what we're going to do today at the foundation. Because if think about it, you get all the bricks, you get everything to build a building. But if you do not know what the foundation looks like, will the building sustain or will it collapse? So that's why we are going to work on the first thing, which is the foundation. The foundation is the goal. Everything is going to rest upon this goal. And think about this. Why? Why is everything going to depend upon this goal? Because What is goal? First of all, understand that. I think it's so important. Majority of the people do not even understand what a goal is. People are going after things, which is fine, which is part of a byproduct of a goal, right? And there's nothing wrong in it. All of that is good, but it's also to understand a goal is meant for you to grow in life, right? And a byproduct of that growth would be a bigger and better house, a bigger and better car, maybe 7 figures, 6 figures. All of that is a byproduct. But who do you become in that process? That's what the real growth is. That's what the purpose of a goal in life is. And I love this definition of goals because I think that is such a beautiful definition that, it's a progressive realization. Many people think of success that when I get there, but actually it's a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And that worthy ideal is your goal in life. Where am I going? If I do not know where I'm going, don't you think you're lost? How many of you feel that? I'm lost. I do not know what to do. I do not know where to go. And the reason is because your success mechanism is jammed right now. It's got too many interferences. It's got too many signals that do this, do this, do this. But you just do not have clarity. Where do I want to? And that's why people feel stuck. They feel stuck because they just do not know what to do. Where am I going in life? So that's why this is the foundation. So when I'm looking at this foundation, I'm also looking at, okay, why do I need to have the right goal? Because every goal would require a different preparation to it. Think about it like if you were going to a beach holiday, you would pack your bag differently, right? Because you would pack summer clothes, you would probably do beach footwears in it, sunscreen, your makeup would be a little bit different as well. But if you were packing a bag for the mountains, right? If you were going on a holiday to mountains, you would pack it differently. And that is exactly the same concept about how knowing where am I going in life? Because if you do not know where you're going, how are you going to prepare yourself mentally? If someone's goal was to climb Mount Everest, their mental preparation, their physical preparation, the way they eat their food would be very different to someone who probably wants to do a PhD, right? Maybe that's their goal. So can you see how having that first clarity of the goal is so important? Where am I really going in my life? And when you gain that clarity of, okay, this is where I want to go, then you start packing accordingly. Then you start preparing, okay, this is what I need to do. So maybe your goal is to become a motivational speaker. That preparation is going to be very different to someone who is actually getting ready for medicine in life, right? So can you see how everything has got a different preparation? And that is why you need the right goal first. First of all, where am I going? What do I really want? So I will ask you, what do you really, really want? And probably you will get sick and tired of me repeating this again and again. What do you really, really want in life? Because if you do not know what you want, what are you going after? What do you really, really want? Because that's the biggest thing. What do you really, really want? Ask yourself, what do I really, really want in my life? What? If I could have everything, all the resources were there, if I had all the money in the world, what would I really, really love? The goal is already waiting for you. What do you want in life? If you're ready for that goal to happen, that goal is ready for you. But you need to know, what do I want? And this is how I really help people understand. I'm going to help you today. First, create a vision of your life. Really create a vision. Look at every area of your life. How do you want every area to look like? Your finances, your career, your relationships, your health. Where do you feel stuck? Which area do you feel stuck in? How do you want that to be? So really create this whole vision of life. You create this image. And then from that vision, let's drive a goal. So maybe in that vision, you're like, oh, this is what I would love my life to look like in finances, in career, in relationships, with my health, with my lifestyle, all of this. Okay, then which one do I want to focus on first? You can't work on all of them. That's not how the mind works. So how do I then pick up one? Ask yourself, which one is going to make the most impact for me right now in my life? Which goal, which area of my life really needs my attention? Where do I feel the most stuck in my life today? So when you gain that clarity, okay, this is where I feel really stuck in my life. This is where I would love things to move first. That's the area you pick up first. And from that, then you drive a goal. So then the next step comes in. How do I really, really set the goal in life? Like, how do I set the right goal? And why do I need, like I said, I will share a story with you. I think it's so important to know this story because many people think, okay, I get all of this, but why do I need a goal? Why? Why do I need to grow in life? I'm happy where I am. How many of you have heard that from your friends, from your colleagues? It's okay, everything is going fine. Why do you need to change anything? Does that thought, cross your mind? Do you meet people who say that same to you? Like, why do you need to? It's okay. Maybe look at your age. You don't need to. Do you get that? I want you to know that that is wrong. Why is it wrong? How do I know it's wrong? Well, I always say there's nothing right or wrong, but this is because the universe, the nature is showing us. Because if nothing is growing, what's happening to that thing? If the plant is not growing, let me know in the chat what's happening to that plant. If the plant stops growing, what is happening to that plant? Nature shows us this. Because if something is not growing, it's not staying there, it's dying. And ask yourself, staying stuck in life, are you really growing in the stuck stage? Or are you really feeling really down? Are you really feeling stuck? Every day, it's just getting worse and worse. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. How do I know? Because I've been there. I've literally been there for almost all my life. That's how I know it. So what do you do then? So you then be like, okay, I want to grow. I want to go after what I really, really want in my life. I want to have that goal that's going to inspire me, goal that's going to move me out of my comfort zone. And that's where, now that you know which area you want to work on, let's find the right goal in that area. What's the right goal in that area? So how do you know what's the right goal? The right goal, there are 3 types of goal. I'm going to teach you all 3 types of goal today. And then I want you to identify which goal have you been setting for the almost all your life, or have you been setting a goal as well? So first is type A goal. Type A goals come from something that you're already doing in life already. So it might be you had a car and you're thinking of buying a new car, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to buy the same car again. That's a type A goal. What's wrong in that goal? There is no growth. There is actually no growth. You know the process of how to get that car. You've done that before. It could be the similar type of job maybe you are in. It could be anything. You already know. It could be a holiday. You've already gone to Spain probably 1,000 times in life, right? And you're like, oh, I want to go to Spain again. What's the growth? You already know. Probably you've covered all the area of Spain, right? So ask yourself, is this goal making me grow in life? Or is this goal making me small in life? Is this goal pushing me forward? Or is this goal pulling me back in my life? So if your goal is a goal, which you already have achieved in your life, there is no growth. Stop setting those goals. There is literally no growth in it. Not the right goal. You already know how to do that. So big cross to that goal, okay? Then comes your type B goal in life. When people move from goal A, the majority, 97% of the people land on goal B. They know they can do it. They know if this goes well, I will do it. If this goes well, I will do it. If this and this and this and this works, I will do it. Does that happen with you? Again, there is no growth. The reason is maybe there's a little bit growth, but they're not sustainable. And it might be something like you think, if this works, if I get more money, maybe I'll start gym next week. If this happens, that happens, maybe I will talk to my boss about going on a big holiday, right? And all of those things are going. But if that all does not happen, your goal doesn't happen. Does that make sense? It's not sustainable. It's just not drive you. There's not enough drive for you to go after your goal. That again is the wrong goal. People kind of usually call them realistic goals. How many of you have heard set realistic goals in life? How many? How many of you have heard, set realistic goals? And again, they are the wrong goals. Why? Because you are setting those goals from the prison of your mind. You're setting those goals from your old conditioning. You're setting those goals from, whether your goal even maybe does not even belong to you. That's another question you want to ask yourself. Does my goal belong to me, or does it belong to someone else? Because goal is not about need. There is no need. In the right type of goal, which is type C, which I'll get to, you don't need, you want that. There's a big difference in need and want. I need this, I want this. When you need something, that's not really a goal. I want this. No matter what happens, this is what I really, really want. So my question to you is, what do you really, really want? Because that is the right goal for you. And how I ask my clients to do it, and I'm going to tell you to do it, is write a list of 50 to 100 things of what you would love to experience in your life. What would I love to experience? If everything was available to me, what would I love to experience? What would I love to experience? What would I love to have? Would it be a bigger, better house? That could be on your list. It could be maybe a better car. It could be freedom. It could be financial freedom. It could be a time freedom. It could be, and I think that's something really important to me, freedom, right? So it could be you want to be on the front cover of Vogue magazine. I do not know. It could be, so think, can you see now I'm going in the fantasy world? I'm not just thinking of what I need. What do I really, really want? Maybe there was a dream when you were young, right? And you would always think, this is what I would really want in my life. I would love this to happen. Maybe you want to be in fashion industry, but right now you're stuck in sales, selling something, right? What do you really, really want? What's your heart's desire? What do you really, really want? Like I said, you will get bored of this question by the end of this call today. What do I really want in my life? So really write a list of 50 things. And then I would say get a highlighter and cross out anything which is not a C-type goal, right? So what is a C-type goal then? A C-type goal is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. What do you really want? It comes from your fantasy. Something that scares you and excites you at the same time. You're like, yes, I want it. But then you're like, oh, how am I going to get there, right? Scares you, really scares you, but it also really excites you. Do you have a goal like that that really excites you, but also scares you at the same time? Because that is the goal that you want to go after, because that's where you will really grow. That's where you will really start shining. Like, yes, this is what I really want in my life. Really, really want in my life. So what do you really want? What's your heart's desire? If everything was there for you, if the universe is like, hey, you go take this, what would you want? What do you really, really want? Because that's where you will really grow. And that comes from inspiration. That does not come from, like I say, people, do not use the word motivation. There is no motivation, right? Motivation is very short-lived. And that's the reason when people tell themselves in December, January, you look at next year, I'm going to go to gym. Next year, I'm going to do this. And by February ends, all of that is gone. Why? It's gone down. Why? Because it was just motivation. So I do not want to motivate you today. That's not my role of this week. My role is to really inspire you. My role is to really help you apply this material and really make the most of this. And that's why I'm here to help you. So my question to you would be again, what do you really, really want? Set the goal from your fantasy world. What do I really, really want in my life? I love this quote, and it says that God's gift to us is all the talent and all the talent and abilities we would need in our lifetime. And our gift to God is to use as much of that talent and abilities. So we are all able. When you set that C-type goal, there are only 2 questions that you want to ask yourself. Only 2. Only 2. Am I able? Which we all are, right? We are all able beings. We are made in God's creation. We are all able. The second question you want to ask yourself is, am I willing? And that is what it is. Am I willing to do whatever it takes? And if you answer to that question, if your answer is a yes to that question, I can promise you, nothing in the world can stop you from you having that. I can really promise you that. But you should be willing to do whatever it takes, right? And that is the difference. That's the difference between successful people. They set the right type of goals. Their goals are not set on what they need, what is it they want. The goal is not set of what society expects of them. The goal is not set on what their parents want for them. The goal is not set on what their company wants for them. The goal is really about what do they really, really want. What's my heart's desire? Where do I see my life? Where would I love to be in my life? Where do I see myself in next 1-2 years? Where do I want to be in my life? Do I want to be on the front cover of Vogue, like I said? Do I want to be in news? Do I want to be walking a ramp? I do not know. Do I want to be, climbing Mount Everest? Maybe that's your goal. That's not my goal. My goal is doing what I'm doing. I love what I do, right? Every single day. This is what I do every single day. Making an impact. Living a life, helping people raise their awareness so they can really have what they want in their life. And that is my intention for you all. That's what I really want for you all. Yes, you can have everything and anything that you want. So what would you want? What do you want? What do you really, really want? So my question to you would be again, what do you really, really want? And once you know that, then comes a point of why do you want it? Because it's very important to know the 7 layers of why. Once you know this is what I'm going for. And after this call, like I said, we will have a Zoom session at 9:20 or 9:15, something like that, where I would show you how to really write the goal. I will show you now as well, but I think you can come and ask me any questions that you might have. And that would be on Zoom. It would not be recorded, so make sure that you show up. You show up live, and that's what happens when you show up live. You will get these notifications. Join us on Zoom, because that's where I will really help you write the goal properly and how to get there as well. But also understand your type C goal is coming from your heart. It's not coming from your logical mind, because your logic is going to stop. Your logic is going to stop wherever the prison of your mind is. The logic is going to stop from what you have heard from your 5 senses from the world. So your C-type goal is going to come from the heart. What do I really, really want in my life, right? So then what do you do? Once you know this is what I want to become #1 motivational speaker in the world. I want to become this author in the world. I want to become a renowned coach in this world, in this industry. I want to become a successful entrepreneur. I want to really get good at my health. I want to manifest a really beautiful relationship for myself. So whatever that goal looks like for you, right? What is that goal? And then ask yourself 7 levels why. Why do you want it? I want this because. I want this because if I'm talking about myself, I want this because it's going to help millions of people. I want to help millions of people. Why? I want to help millions of people because I do not want them to be stuck where I was stuck in my life. And I want to do that. Why? So you keep going layers of why, 7 layers, until you've really reached the bottom layer. Why do I want? And why am I asking you to do 7 layers of why? The reason I'm asking you to do 7 layers of why, because when you are setting a goal which is so big, which is your heart's desire, you would need a real why in life. Why? Because not every day is going to be the same day. Not every day you're going to have motivation, and that's where you'll have to really push yourself. But when you have the real why in life, this is why I want this. This is what I want to do, what I want to do. This is why it means so much to me. For me, initially, it was my kids always, right? That's always been a part of my real why in life as well. I wanted to, I will share about my story on Thursday, because I want to really give you a lot of value and really want to help you. And if I start sharing my story, I don't think I'll have time. So it's not about me, but I want you to know, one of the reasons was my kids, my children, because I was so stuck in life. And because I was stuck, it was impacting my life. It was impacting my family. So I was not showing up as a good mother. I was not showing up, as a good wife. I was just doing what I was doing, right? Really stuck in my life. So that was one of my big whys, to really help my children, to really help them have this life where they could, whatever that was. So I want you to have the real why in life. Why do I want to achieve this? Because not every day is going to be a bed of roses in your life, and that is what life is. That's why you need the 7 levels why. Why do I really, really want this in my life, right? Why do I want this? Then I also want you to understand, when you set this goal, that is so huge, that is coming from you, not from anyone else outside of you. your success mechanism is then going to start moving you towards the goal, because that is how the success mechanism is in us, right? We, like I said, we all have this success mechanism, but it's jammed. But when we start unjamming it, when we start gaining clarity, why do I want this in my life? What does it look like? And that's another thing. When you're just saying, for example, like I said, someone wants to be a motivational speaker, what does that look like? Where do you speak? How does that look like? You need to have that clarity as well, because think about it. If you tell the universe, I want a Mercedes, for example, or a Bentley, or whatever car that is, but you do not know which one, you're saying, oh, I would love to have a black one. And then you say next day, maybe not black, maybe I want a gray one, maybe I want a red one. So every day you're changing. Like I said, that's why your mechanism is getting jammed. So once you know what you're doing, you need to really gain clarity. You want to start creating this beautiful image. What does it look like? Because mind works in images. And tomorrow we will talk a lot about mind. Tomorrow we will really understand how do we, that's going to be the most important concept. Bob Proctor had learned, my mentor, whom you saw in the video, by the way. And what I have learned as well is really about understanding the mind. And we will look into the mind throughout the week. And that's what I'm saying. Every day is like a piece of a puzzle. You show up every day, you understand it, and that's how you will get there. So when we're talking about the clarity of goal, it's so important to have that image. What does that image look like? Is it colorful? Is it black and white? What does it look like, right? What would you like to have in there? What does it look like? So for example, if you have a money goal, I'm not sure if you have a money goal, but let's talk about money, because I think it's very easily understandable. Maybe your goal in life is to get to 10,000 pounds a month. Maybe your goal in life is to, and the reason I'm using money or numbers is because you can measure that. So that's another thing. Your goal needs to be measurable, because how do you know how far you've come in life otherwise? Maybe your goal is to reduce 10 kgs in weight. So have a number attached to it, because it's so important to have that. The other thing that I really want you to understand when you're writing this goal, and in your workbook, by the way, you will have, the 3 types of goal, like to remind you what type of goals you want to have. There's also a space where you will write down your goal here, right? And it's going to start with, I'm so happy and grateful now that. So there's a space there for time, like a month, year, whatever you want, like a time specification, and also like what you want. Like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I easily and consistently maybe earn this much money. I am in the best form of my health. But when you're doing this work, make sure you're not using any negative words. That's very important, because this is going to become a goal statement, right? This is like you're telling yourself every day. I will encourage you to write it every day as well. And by the way, people who will do the homework, you also have a present. So when you do this homework and you post it in a WhatsApp group, you will get these gratitude journals from me. These are made by me for my clients, but I'm going to share them with you, because the reason I'm going to share them with you is because there is a space that you use every day to write your goal. And then you will also write your goal achieving action steps. Like, how am I going to get to these goals? So there's a space for gratitude. Like, you write your gratitude in here. And then you do this as well. And this is like every day. So make sure you do the work, because I really want to support you and help you. So this is your day 1 present if you do that. So do the work. And when we will, of course, pick up the winners, and we will send them these journals to you after the live, this is finished. But going back to, why do we need that clarity in goal? Why do I want to know what I'm going to write there every day? Because it's like giving yourself a command to your mind. This is where I'm going. Like the GPS, right? You put in a destination in your GPS. If there is no destination in the GPS doesn't know where to take you. So likewise, when you write your goal every single day, you're telling yourself, where am I going in my life? Where am I going? Which direction am I going? And then you start talking to you, okay, what are the action steps I need to take to get there as well in my life? Okay, so for example, like I said, you want to write a book, or you want to be a motivational speaker. So what steps do I need to take every day to get there? There will be steps which you need to do every day. There will be steps which you might need every week to do. Maybe some will be monthly, but they need to be done on a consistent basis, right? And that's how you get to your goal. Remember what I said, the best definition of success I heard was, success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea. What does that really mean? It's a progressive realization. That means every day you are taking steps towards your goal. That's what real growth in life is. It's not about overnight success. If you have been watching Grammys, I'm sure you've heard of Bad Bunny. Is his name? I think so, Bad Bunny. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And he won so many Grammys, but it's not an overnight success. He's been doing it even when people were not seeing him. He was uploading his music every day, right? Maybe you want to get into music. So it doesn't matter what you desire, what your heart's desire is, but you really need to have a clear image of where you are going in life. So which destination am I putting? Remember what I said, every suitcase will have a different packaging. So if you are going to a beach holiday, it requires different. It requires a different type of stuff in your bag. Likewise, where are you going in life? So when you have this goal, when you really have this goal in life, you are going to start having those action steps according to that. Where am I really going in my life? Where is it that I'm going? What actions do I need to take today? What do I need to pack in this suitcase to get there? So if you want to become a motivational speaker, start speaking up. It could be on social media today. So to start showing up from that place, you just need to start doing something to get there. So can you see how it is a success is a system? It's not just overnight. It's not just for some people. Success really is a system. So when you start taking these action steps every day, when you have clarity over your goal, and many people get stuck on the how, but how am I going to get there? How? That is the worst thing you can do to kill your goal. I'm not joking. I'm really not joking. Many people actually will be like, but how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? You do not need to know the how. Do you think Edison knew how he was going to invent the light bulb today that we are all enjoying, and we enjoy it every single day, this electricity and everything? Do you know how he was going to get there? No. He did not know, but he knew what he wanted to create. And it took him, I remember reading it, that someone asked Edison, how long did it take you? Something like that. And he said, someone asked him, you failed 2,000 times. And he said, I beg to differ. To get to making a bulb was 2,000 step process. And that's the thinking. That's the difference. So when you have set the goal for yourself, you know where you're going. You actually know this is what it looks like. I'm going to just do my part in this. I'm going to keep doing my steps, of course, refine them on the way. But this is where I'm going. I'm not stopping until I get there. Who here thinks they're ready for that type of work? Like, yes, that type of commitment. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. Who has got that 100% commitment? Type in the chat if you are someone who's like, yes, I want to be there. I'm 100% committed. I might not know how, and I do not need to know how, but I definitely need to know this is where I'm going. I know this is where I'm going, and I'm going to do whatever it takes, because it is so important to know this is where I'm going in my life, and this is what it's going to look like. And every day you start taking steps, every day you start getting on that path, and the path will become clearer and clearer as you go along. But you do have to take the first path. Many people get stuck literally at the first step. Why? Because, and we will discuss that tomorrow as well, because when you set a goal that big, you do get scared, right? And you should, but many people just stop there. And that is where, they need to correct themselves. And I will show you how you're going to get that correction as well. Also, one thing that I really want to share with you is you can have, as I've said, you can have anything. There's nothing wrong with you. There is no fixing that you need to do. You just need to follow a step-by-step process. Like the first step today is getting that clarity over your goal. Really gaining that clarity. What do I really want in my life, right? Great. So you need to be 100% committed. Great. I love that. I love that attitude, because when you come from, I'm going to do whatever it takes, you already set yourself in that 3%. Because do you know 97% people are stuck in life? 97% people, they just get stuck in the how. They are so stuck, but they are so not ready to do the work on themselves either. Why? Because there's so much fear, which we will look at. And tomorrow we will look at what is that one thing that stops you. It's not you that stops you to get there in life. What stops you? That's one of the most important concepts, like I have learned from Bob Proctor, which I will share tomorrow. So make sure that you do show up tomorrow, because I will be teaching you something really live, literally live on this call. And I want you to do that work with me. Remember what I said, it's not about knowledge, it's really about applying that knowledge for yourself. Really going after what do I really, really want. And I'm going to do whatever it takes. That's the attitude. So when I'm looking again, going back and getting that clarity over your goal, make sure you gain a real good clarity over your goal, right? Like I said, ask yourself 7 times, why do I want this? I'm just going through the workbook so to make sure that you have not missed anything. So once you have your goal written down, ask yourself, why do I want this? And it shows that on the workbook here, why do I want? Until you really get to the reason why. Why do you want? And then we have given you a goal card in this workbook. Make sure you, or you can just use any card. For example, you can use these note cards. You can literally use any card to write your goal. And then I really recommend you to start reading that goal every morning, every evening. Put that in your wallet. Like, I have my goal cards everywhere, literally everywhere. Why? Because it's giving my mind an image. Where am I going? I'm always reminding myself, this is where I'm going in my life. And when you keep reminding, and I'm sure you all have heard, everything is energy. So if you start putting your energy, this is where I'm going in my life, things will start moving for you as well, right? So ask yourself why, write it on a goal card. I'm so happy and grateful. And like I said, make sure, I've also written in this workbook that make sure you know that you need to write it in the present or past perfect tense, as if it's already happened. It's already done deal. It must be very specific and measurable. You can't write vague things. You can't write things like, oh, I do not want debt. Wrong thing. Because if you are going to write about debt, you will only create more debt in life. Do not write words like, oh, I'm overweight, I'm unhealthy. I want to get rid of unhealthy behavior. Because if you write that, guess again what's happening. What is happening is you are writing the wrong thing. You're giving energy to the wrong thing. You're reminding every day of the wrong thing. So it needs to be present. It needs to be in the present tense. It needs to be, as I said, it's already happened. And then need to be specific and measurable. And that's why it needs to have a specific outcome. What am I going after? That clear destination. Imagine if you didn't have a clear destination in your GPS. Again, it will get jammed. It's going to get a lot of signals. But so you do need to know exactly where you're going. You can't just say, I'm going to Leeds, for example, right? Leeds is big. You can't just say, I'm going to London, right? So where are you going? Be very specific. Where in Leeds? Which postcode am I going to? Which house number am I going to? Right? So it needs to be very specific. Where am I going? And then it needs to be measurable. Right? Your goal needs to be measurable. Why? Because remember what I said, it's every day taking part. Like every day you're growing towards it. So how would you measure how far you've come? So for example, your goal is to get to 10K months, for example, right? When you get to 5K, you're halfway there, right? So if your goal is to get to the Mount Everest, once you get to the first base camp, you've achieved this. Now I need to go to the second base camp. And then it also starts making you believe in yourself. So that's why a goal is very important, that it is measurable. So what I want you to do, there's also homework for you. And like I said, I will be sending you these gratitude journals for the people who do the homework. I want you to write the goal card. Doesn't matter which paper you use. I actually do not mind. You write it down, you take a picture of that, and we will be posting another link of our WhatsApp group, which is just for homework, which is just for the people who have registered for this event. So you feel that comfort. We hold you accountable. I can help you. My team can help you. So make sure that you join that WhatsApp group, because we wanted to give you a very kind of nurturing environment. We wanted to give you an environment where you do not feel overwhelmed. Where you feel like, yes, I've got the support. I feel friendly. I feel I can do this. Because throughout the week, I will give you one piece of homework every day, which will get you to grow, which will help you to gain more clarity. And today is the first day for that. So who is in with us? Who will be doing the work? Because remember what I said at the starting. Yes, I've taught you about the 3 types of goal. I've taught you why do you need goals. I've taught you how to write a goal. But it's not about just the information. It's about applying that information. It's really about doing the work, whatever it takes. So each person, who completes, we are going to draw people out who are going to win from this homework. So make sure that you do the work, and we will post in the group people. I really want to honor you who do the work, because for me, that's important. Like I said, you play your part, I played my part. And we also have a Zoom meeting that's happening after this call, which will happen at 9:15. The link is in the portal. The link will also be in the WhatsApp group. So yes, there will be 2 WhatsApp group. One is just for us to give you the, just to for the relevant information, and one's going to be for the homework, where you will be applied to not applied, where you'll be allowed to post your homework and do the work. So, and anything that you want to, you can't find, go to the portal. Like, the portal link is actually in the description section. So the portal link is there. Make sure you click that and everything, because that's where you'll find the recordings of every day as well. Every day, if you have missed the recording or you want to watch the recording again, because recordings will go from today to the next Monday, and they will come off on the midnight of that Monday, right? So you do have 1 week to catch up on recordings, revisit the recordings, watch them again and again. If you've missed something, maybe sometimes you've not watched the whole, you've not attended the whole event, which is fine. So make sure you're doing the work, make sure you're watching the recordings. And also remember, repetition is the key to learning. Repetition is really the key. And maybe you've attended these events before, maybe you've not. But repetition is going to really get you there, because it's the way you learn in life. Think about how you learn your times table, right? How did you learn them? How did you learn spellings in life? It's all repetition, and that is very true as well. So after you've written the goal, like I said, I just want to do a little bit of recap what we have learned today. First of all, I want you to understand, when we were watching that video, that you can't get out of the prison without knowing you're in it, right? We all have set ourselves unconsciously, unknowingly in this prison of our mind. And my intention towards this whole week is to actually, break that prison for you, so you can break through and you can really break free and create the life that you really desire for yourself. Because when we are in that prison, we keep telling ourselves these stories. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not cut for this. And all of that is a lie. Why? Because we are worthy. If you see yourself who you truly are, beyond this name, beyond the body that you live in, you and I have been created in God's highest form of creation. And if we have been created in God's highest form of creation, then you know what? We are worthy. We are beautiful. The universe is there for us. And all of us have been programmed for success. Like I said, it's a GPS. We all have been programmed for success. Every human being has a built-in success mechanism. We all have that, right? For that to work, for that mechanism to work, you do need to know where you are going in life. That's the first step. First step of that is what we've discussed today, the foundation. Where am I really going in my life, right? So do you know where you're going? Do you know what you want? And then do you have a goal written down? These are the 3 things I want to ask you. Do you know where you're going in life? Do you know what you want? And do you have it written down? Because majority of the people in the world do not know where they're going in life. If they, maybe some of them have got a maybe little bit, very tiny percentage, would know where they're going in life, but they might not have clarity on it. And then it is about, do you have it written down? Because it's so important to write your goal, to remind yourself every day, this is where I'm going in my life. This is where I want to be. And when you give that clear image to the goal, that's when the machine will start. That's when the mechanism will start. That's when it's going to go into that ignition mode and be like, yes, I'm ready to go. So then remember, when you are doing your goal setting, remember to set the right goal. What type of goal am I setting? The type C goal. Not type A, where I've already been, where I already have. Type B, which I think I can. Again, there is no growth. So when you're setting goal, remember the right way to set the goal is what you really, really want. What do you really, really want in your life, right? That's the goal. Something that you've never done before. Something that really excites you, but also scares you at the same time. That really terrifies you. Like, how the am I going to get there, right? So it's very, very important. So your true goal will always come from your heart. It will never come from your mind. Never. It has to be from your heart. What do I really, really want? And then, yes, there's another thing that I want to talk about, which is perseverance. Because just setting the goal is not going to get you there. But really persevering every time. Like when I said about the 6 goal achieving action steps, right? What are your action steps? You need to persevere with those. And how do you, in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about the 4 steps to these perseverance. And they're also, by the way, in your workbook. I wrote down because I thought it would be really helpful for you to go through these 4 steps. So first of all, you need to be in the right community of people. And that's why we are doing this WhatsApp and we're giving you this support over the next week, because so make the most out of this, by the way, because we're really giving you all the support that we can. So make the most out of this, because that right alliance, that right community really matters in life, because you want to hang around with people who are pushing you, who are really trying to guide you, not pull you back in life. So that's the first step. Second is closing your mind to the opinions of others. I remember what I said. Your goal needs to belong to you. So do not go and ask, or do you think your friends or maybe your spouse or partner, do you think I can achieve this? Because if they say no to you, they've already put a doubt in you. No, you can't. So never share your goal with anyone apart from people and communities where you know you will be pushed. Like I do not share my goal, right? I would share it with, of course, I would share it with Bob Proctor before. I would share it with certain people who are in my mastermind. I would not share my goal with everyone. Why? Because you need to be in the right community of people. Then you start taking action. You start taking action towards it, even when you do not know how to, like taking a small action as well. You might not know all the action steps, and that's actually fine as well. But as you start moving in that direction, it's going to become more and more clear. And then write your goal every single day. Who here is going to do this work with me? That's my first thing. Because it is going to take perseverance. It is going to take effort on your part. Remember what I said. You have to ask yourself 2 questions. Am I able and am I willing? Of course you're able. Are you willing? Are you willing to get to the other side of the comfort zone? Are you really willing to do whatever it takes? Because your goal is not in your comfort zone. Because if your goal is in your comfort zone, that's a wrong goal again, right? That's either the A or B. So am I really willing to do whatever it takes? Am I committed? Type the word committed. If you are committed, type committed in the chat for me. Type I am committed or committed. Just type that, because I want to see how many of you are committed, because I want to make sure that you're doing the work. I want to make sure that you are getting all the help that is required during these 5 days. And remember what I said, it's not just going to be 5 days. We also have 2 bonus days. So on those 2 bonus days, they're one of my favorites, because I will be talking to you about literally a step-by-step system, how to get there. And I'll also talk about self-image, because self-image is the key to achieving that goal. Why? Because it's not what you want, it's what you become in that process. And that's what it's all about. Who are you? You attract not what you want, you attract who you are. So who are you, right? And that's when we really, like I said, the first thing is always the goal. You need to have that right clarity of goal, because once you know what goal I'm going for, then I know who do I need to become to match that vibration? Who do I need to become to match that frequency of that goal? And that's what we help you then become that, right? So can you see how it is, everything is so connected, and everything is everything is so connected. So it's really good. What I'm going to do is, yes, so that is actually the summary of day 1. I'm so grateful for you all. We will be meeting in the Zoom in 15 minutes at 9:15 or 9:20. It's either of those times. So, but I will be there at 9:15 because I've said that. I look forward to seeing you there, because I will really, really help you get there. I really want to see whether you're writing the right goal. Amazing. I love that. Be 100% committed. Show on the Zoom call, so I can help you to make sure that, first of all, if you've got any questions about goal settings, it would be really good to have that conversation. And also, if I can really help you set the right goal, I'm here to help you gain clarity over it. I'm here to help you how to write that goal as well in the right language, because that is important as well. What language are you using on your goal? That really, really matters. And also remember, tomorrow is going to be great, because tomorrow I'm going to talk about the most important concept of what Bob ever learned, my mentor, and I have learned. It's about what is stopping you from achieving that goal. Now that you've got this goal in this beautiful vision, what stops you? It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's not that something is not right with you. There is something else. And I want to show that to you. And I want to break that myth for you that no, there's nothing wrong with you. There is, you might think, oh, this is or that is the story, but no, there's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful as you are. You just need to understand what is stopping you from getting there. That's it. And that's what I want for you all. So I love this. I love the commitment. I love this, guys. Show up for yourself. So I look forward to seeing you all in the Zoom at 9:15 and just helping you. So give me a thumbs up if you are coming on the Zoom with me, because I would really, really love to help you all there. And yeah, so I'm going to see you all in 15 minutes. Maybe get a cup of tea for yourself or something. And I'm going to see you on Zoom at 9:15. So make sure that the link is in the portal. So the portal link is in the description. So join that. That's how you will join the WhatsApp group, because that WhatsApp group is very important for you, where we put out maybe the Zoom links, maybe if there is anything that we want to share with you as well. Anything that I want to share will go on the WhatsApp. My team will put it on the WhatsApp group. So all the reminders, everything, we're not going to spam you. So don't worry. We're just going to, send you reminders in that group. So make sure you join that group, and that's where all the things are. So join the portal, join the WhatsApp group, and that's where the link will be posted for 9:15. So it will be posted shortly, or maybe it's been posted, I'm not sure. But it will be posted shortly at 9:15. So I will see you at 9:20 or 9:15. As you get that link, jump on that link and meet me in Zoom, so I can really help you get your goal right? I really want to help you with that. So thank you so much for showing up here. Well done. As I said, do the work, and you will get my gratitude journals. And it's been a pleasure. Day one, I have loved it. Remember to join the portal. All the recordings will be there as well. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., where I will really show you what is stopping you from achieving your goals in life. What is it? Now that you've got this beautiful goal, we do not want anything standing in between us and our goals, right? So look forward to seeing you on Zoom, and then look forward to seeing you tomorrow, guys, at 8 p.m. And tomorrow might be a little bit lengthier session. I'm not sure, because there's so much to share. I want to share it all. So thank you, guys, and have a good night, and see you in Zoom. Love you all. Take care.